Hey, I'm Ben Silverio.
And I'm Nicole Keating.
I'm Ansel Burch.
And it's time to party!
Today's episode on the Map of Tiny Perfect Things was recorded on the 2nd of May, 2023. We are not doctors. We don't give medical advice. Please drink responsibly.
That's definitely
We
a
can't
shower
pick a
song.
genre, but we can pick a movie. What are we watching this month?
Party
Month.
Party people! Welcome back to Time to Party, where everything's made up and the points don't matter. This month, we are looking at the Prime Video production known as The Map of Tiny Perfect Things.
I did not realize this was an Amazon original.
It
That's
is.
lovely.
Yes.
Speaking of acting work, I would say that the best company to work for is Amazon.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, my best experiences have been with Amazon Productions. They just they treat you really well. It's not like, I don't know, I think they just have a lot of money to throw around.
Yeah,
so
like
treat
they
you
really do.
well.
They've got $1 billion. They just went here.
The food is amazing. I mean, dude, I did I was basically the photo double for a 13-year-old boy.
Sure.
Yeah, like you do. That's the most money I've made is being the stand-in photo double for this 13-year-old boy. Most money I've made acting. I gained 4 pounds working on this 2-week episode because the food was just so amazing, and union rules says you have to be fed at certain intervals, and so we were fed at very generous intervals, and it was good.
So the movie The Map of Tiny Perfect Things, released in 2021, is based on a short story written by Lev Grossman, who may be familiar to some people who watch The Magicians.
Yes, Lev Grossman, very familiar name, and this was it was actually also magical in its own way.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
A little bit of magic because who knows what's at play here. Lev Grossman I think has a
He likes magic.
he likes magic. He likes a genre, as do I.
Right, nothing wrong with that.
So say we all.
And if you don't know anything about this little movie that you can find on Amazon Prime Video, our good friends at IMDb tell us...
Yes.
Two teens live the same day repeatedly, enabling them to create a map of things to remember.
I also read that IMDb description, and I was like, this is lackluster.
Yeah, right.
Doesn't quite cover it,
this
but
happens,
okay.
I guess.
Yeah, I guess that happens. The map, the title is lovely. The map is, it's kind of secondary, though it does, I think, become a little bit of a MacGuffin towards the end.
Sure.
But I do feel like the map itself is kind of secondary to the plot for a lot of the movie. But it is a lovely title.
Yeah.
It was in the log line, so they had to keep it.
They had to.
Yes, we will definitely get into the map more in episode 2. But in episode 1, we like to start you all out with some drinking and smoking rules, so you have a good reason to watch the movie. Or rewatch the movie. Or probably watch the movie, because this is from 21.
Yeah, it's from a couple of years ago, and I definitely wanted to see this one when it came out, so I'm glad we did it for this.
Before we all knew that Prime Video was worth it, so you
I
probably
had it.
slept on this one.
I have had every TV service for as long as it existed. TV is an extremely important thing in my life. It is also my favorite medium to work in.
I love a good
Your
TV
favorite
show.
medium on your favorite platform. This movie should have been a slam dunk.
Yeah. Truly, and I we'll get into it in episode 2, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
All right.
So let's get started. Nicole, your first rule.
Okay, my first rule, and this is definitely this might be my only rule. This is so I have one drinking rule and one smoking rule. Every time they drink, you drink. Also, do they get hangovers in this universe?
See? Important questions.
Important questions are being asked here tonight, my friends.
We'll call it the sympathy drink rule.
Exactly, the sympathy drink, because there is a lot of, yes, they're teenagers, and no one on this podcast has ever done any underage drinking whatsoever. But they're definitely getting their money's worth out of this time loop when it comes to the alcohol.
Oh yeah. Ansel, what was the moonshine like in Ohio back then?
No idea. I didn't drink until I was 25 and married.
Oh,
Are
wow.
you serious? Aw.
On my honeymoon, it took her all of a week to get me to drive me
You're
to
such
drink.
a
Is the
cinnamon
joke.
roll.
Yeah.
Drive you to drink.
Shout out to Tab.
But yeah, no, I grew up Baha'i, and so in the Baha'i
really?
faith, drinking is
Yeah.
forbidden. But I kind of like stopped caring. Like I've never really had a strong relationship with religion, and so like in college, I was finally like, you know what? I don't really think I need this.
Yeah.
But I kind of like just didn't start drinking until our honeymoon, and I was like, you know what? We're at a all-you-can-eat and drink resort. If there's a time, this is
This
it.
is it. That's definitely.
So what
I mean,
was
that's
your
a good time. Yeah,
what was your first drink?
That's a very good question.
Pina colada.
All right.
You do like pina
Yep.
coladas.
I've been a rum drinker ever since.
Fair enough.
I drank at Satyrs growing up, but I did not drink in high school. My friends and I were the honors kids, so we had more important things going, like college. And there were definitely a few parties senior year that got broken up, and like people like got in real trouble and like possibly like losing like college admissions and scholarships and stuff. Yeah, not our group of friends, but like at our school.
Sure.
But we were like leaders and really smart, and so we had to be examples. We had
See,
to lead
the
by
smart
example.
kids just knew to drink better stuff. Like
I did. So the first
blackberry
time,
brandy, I think was our drink of choice.
Wow. I mean, my sister drank in high school. I remember in college coming home. I was staying at my mom's house, and I remember coming home from a party, and my sister and I were both coming home from a party wasted, and we were like, "Sister."
My first rule is the same first rule as our Palm Springs episode.
Every time it resets?
Every time it resets.
Oh, that's a great one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it happens a lot in the beginning, and then it starts to thin out towards the middle, and it's a pretty consistent rule.
Yeah, it's a consistent rule, and you're right. It's got a nice pace to it.
Gets you warmed up and then keeps you going.
Yep.
Yeah.
So my smoking rule, as soon as they start talking about the fourth dimension, you gotta light up, baby, because I was like, that is literally why I went to the dispensary before this, because I was like, I am not high enough to watch this tesseract being drawn. Which was also my edutainment, but literally there's like no information
About
on it.
tesseracts?
Like the actual like creation of it, it's just like some guy in some book about, like, he writes a whole bunch of philosophical conceptual essays.
I thought it was
about...
an Infinity Stone.
Well, yes, but no, the four-dimensional
Right.
cube is called the Tesseract.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Our listeners might not.
Okay.
Sorry if I math-splained it to you.
I learned about it from Wrinkle in Time. That was
Yeah.
my-
Yeah, my smoking roll, I only have one of those, is similar. Mine was take a hit every time they talk about space.
Yeah. Blow your mind a little.
I'll get some very push your glasses up your nose type conversation.
I loved it.
I am here for every time we need to deep dive on a scientific concept to explain the made-up concept of time travel.
Of this movie.
Yeah.
They did it in, what was
It's the best part of Star Trek every time. It's always
yes.
like, yes, well, the Einstein-Rosenberg bridge is the reason that we're flying past this star with these aliens on board. Sure.
There's a Christopher Pike book called The Tachyon Web that's all about time travel, and I was a Christopher Pike fangirl when I was like 12. So that one blew my freaking mind. I was like, is this real? How much of this is real science and how much of this is horror science? My other drinking rule is cry when you're sad. Sorry. Drink when you're sad. Drink when you're sad.
No, cry when you're sad is so much better.
We validate your feelings here at Time to Party.
Drink when you cry.
Yes.
Drink when you cry.
Drink when every time you're weeping, every time you find yourself weeping,
I was like,
take
oh,
a
no,
drink.
This is sad. Yes,
It does happen a lot.
Actually, it doesn't. Most of it is
mean-
very charming.
That's true. But then
really
once you
shouldn't-
start crying,
You really
it's just
shouldn't
like
be crying. Well, yeah, you drink at the beginning of when you start crying, and then you can lay off however much you need to get through it.
Yeah, there you go.
my next rule is take a drink whenever Margaret causes destruction with a vehicle.
Oh, very good, very
She
good.
just runs over stuff.
A lot, yeah.
and
There's a lot.
Bumps into stuff.
Yeah.
and And I noticed I said vehicle because it's not just in a car.
No, there's other.
She's in other things too.
Yes.
Where she fucks shit up.
She's a bad pilot of things.
It's true.
Not great at driving, considering all the practice.
She did say she was teaching herself.
Well,
so...
yes, but you'd think you'd be a little better at it after however many times they've gone through this.
If we were in the 90s, the bad joke here would be like, women drivers, am I right?
I just assumed it was because she's, kind of a spacey teen.
Sure, yeah.
She's thinking about 4 dimensions.
She's
not
got other
thinking about
shit to think about, yeah.
Also, literally, there's no consequences, so who cares?
That's true.
Yeah, one of the questions that I wrote down in my notes was, where the fuck are the cops in this town? Because they're just causing destruction everywhere.
That's a really good question. They never get arrested.
They never get arrested.
You'd think in one of the loops somebody would have gone to jail at least.
Yep, I was thinking the same thing.
Apparently not.
Also, they're white. So.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, no, the friend is black. And the girl he likes at the beginning is Asian, so this may be a diverse town. But everybody else seemed pretty white.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where are they supposed to be?
California, I think. Like, SoCal, suburb of Los Angeles was sort of what I got.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I remember seeing
there was a license plate,
but I did not clock.
Every town America.
Yeah, right.
I think I was maybe responding to the nice weather, and it was probably shot in a suburb of Los
I mean,
Angeles.
probably.
No,
actually, it was shot in Alabama.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, it was.
Those poor people.
I have zero context for Alabama other than it being the South. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's why everyone was white.
I got 2 more.
All right.
Next one, take a drink for every reference to another time travel movie.
Oh, great. I love it.
Oh, you're watching Time Bandits again?
Again.
Yep, never get tired of it.
Never gets old.
And then my last rule is a shot rule.
Nice.
Take a shot when Margaret finally finds the puppy.
I was like the fucking dog, man.
This movie is very good at foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm sure we'll get into it later, but like,
review.
Yes. I figured out the twist pretty early.
Like her twist?
Yeah.
I sort of did. I wrote, oh fuck, she's sick, isn't she? Followed by a series of about 20 cry face emojis. So I'm really glad I didn't call it because I did not actually remember that Lev Grossman was magicians. Mm-hmm. So I was thinking we're like Fault in Our Stars. We're going like the Fault in Our Stars direction. So I'm really glad that wasn't the twist. But so I did call that there was something with illness and the doctor not being like a boyfriend or something.
Yes. Party people, if you want to get the full spoilers and our thoughts on everything that we just talked about that we almost spoiled but didn't, thankfully.
Yeah, you gotta go watch. You gotta go drink and watch the movie.
Yes, you gotta tune in next week for all of our thoughts and theories and comments when we return for our review of the map of tiny perfect things. Join us next time. Until then, you can find us on the internet. I'm at Silverio20 on Instagram, Twitter, and Hive.
I am at the Fake Geek Girl. The I in girl is a number 1 because I'm number 1, and that's on all the things.
You can find that in the show notes in case you're having trouble typing it. I am at Indecisionist on Twitter and at The Indecisionist on Instagram.
You can join the conversation by using the hashtag Time2Party. That's time, the number 2 party.
As well as Time, the number 2 party, all spelled out.
Special thanks to April Moralba for our podcast art and to Marlon Longett of Marlon and the Shakes for our amazing theme song. This has been an Indecisionist production. Visit indecisionist.com/time2party. That's time, the number 2 party, for back episodes and transcripts of all of our episodes in season 3.
And, while you are brushing up on how to read a map, because everyone has Google Maps or some sort of map program to tell you how to read a map.
Google Maps is the best. True that. Double true. Quote the Great Lonely Island.
The Great Lonely Island.
The Great Bards, the Lonely Island.
Truly the voice of our era.
Oh, God. If Andy Samberg's the voice of my era. Jeez.
Hey, could be Pete Davidson.
Oh, at least it's not that.
Woof.
Yes, well, you were refreshing your memory on how to read a map. I want to remind you to be excellent to each other.
Party on, dudes.
Everyone should body roll to Canon D, right?